Thomas. Pastor Thomas, would you please lead us in prayer?
Let us pray. Dear God, our God, we first come to use the two best words we could ever use. Thank you. What a unique opportunity it is to be alive, to have the movement of our limbs, the activity of our brains, the beating of our hearts. Yes, they may not function the way we want them to, but we are grateful that you gave them to us as they are now, for it means that we are still in the land of the living. Dear God, we thank you for this great place called Memphis, the greatest city ever created, a city with so much potential, a city with so much promise, a city that can rise from whatever the naysayers have to say. Now, God, I thank you for these creatures, God, these chosen individuals who you've called to be council members. God, it is my prayer that you pour out your spirit upon each one of them and anoint them afresh. It is my prayer, God, that you remind them to have the spirit of Proverbs 31. No, not the Proverbs 31 woman, but Proverbs 31, 8 and 9. Speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those who are being crushed. So, God, I pray that they have the courage to speak up for those who are lost, who are without, who have the least, who are struggling. God, I pray that they speak out for the future, for the present, and for those who truly need someone to speak on their behalf. God, it is my prayer that throughout this city, that you rise and that you allow this city to rise. It is my prayer, God, that you allow your power to be made present in this place. God, it is my prayer that we leave everything that needs to be buried and allow it to be buried so that the new things can rise again. Let us not stick to traditional ways of living, but let us have a renewed mindset to revolutionize our city so that we can show the world that Memphis still stands and that it will stand the test of time and will always rise again. And God, now, the same way that we began this prayer, we end it by thanking you for what you've done already, by thanking you for what you're doing, and yes, thanking you for what you will do. For we firmly believe that the latter glory will be greater than that of the former, believing that the best is still yet to come. This is the prayer that I submit to you. And let the friends of God say together, amen.
Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Afternoon, City of Memphis and colleagues. Come on. By the City Council, be it hereby known that my handsome husband, Pastor Darren Thomas II, in recognition of a life of exemplary qualities, outstanding service to the city, meritorious involvement in humanitarian affairs, and demonstrated concern for governmental process, has been appointed chaplain of the day of the Memphis City Council and hereby entitled to all of the honors, rights, and privileges and prerogatives appertaining to the office. Giving under the seal, 8th day of July, Chairman J. Ford Canale, and presented by myself, Michael and Easter Thomas. And you all, my husband, he's been ordained by AME for a while before we were married, but I hadn't invited him yet because he wasn't officially a pastor. So recently in December, he was assigned to pastor a church just a few miles away in Clarksdale, Mississippi, Friendship AME. But we are very, very, very proud of him and our family, and I am too, to be able to call him Pastor Darren Thomas. So thank you for coming today. Thank you. I gotta get a picture.
Pastor Thomas, congratulations to you, my friend, on your new appointment, and thank you for that beautiful prayer. We appreciate you being with us and praying over us today. Madam Comptroller, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council members Carlisle, Cooper Sutton,
Present.
Easter Thomas, Ford, Green, Logan, Smiley, Spinoza, Swearingen Washington,
Present.
Walker, Warren, White, Chairman Canale. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Colleagues, I believe that our Vice Chair has read the meeting minutes from our June 24th, 2025 meeting.
Thank you, Chairman. I have reviewed the minutes and find them to be in order. I move for the adoption of the June 24th, 2025 City Council meeting minutes.
Minutes are moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for our June 24th meeting minutes.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Canale, yes.
That item passes. Welcome, everyone in the audience. We appreciate you being with us today and those listening online to the July 8th, 2025 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council. Meetings of the council shall be conducted in an orderly manner to ensure the public has full opportunity to be heard and the deliberate process of the council is retained at all times. The Sergeant at Arms, making his way back over, has meeting agendas available up front, as well as comment request cards for members of the public wishing to be heard on a specific item. All those wishing to speak on an item must turn in their comment card to the Sergeant at Arms before the item is called. If you are not here to speak on a specific item, you can note your request to give general comment at the end of the meeting. As chair, I will only recognize citizens that properly registered to speak by submitting a completed comment request card to the Sergeant at Arms. Members of the audience and persons addressing the council will not be permitted to engage in gossip, make defamatory, personal, slanderous, or profane comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. The chairperson of the council may maintain order by giving any persons who are in violation of the stated rules of decorum a warning to cease any violative conduct in order to leave the council's chambers, or by giving an order for security personnel to remove any disruptive person in the council's chambers who refuses to leave voluntarily. These rules are posted on the doors as you enter the chamber and as you pick up comment cards. An example of an 11 by 17 poster is also posted on the front door. Signs larger than permitted size are prohibited and will be removed from the chamber. All that being said, let's have a good meeting. Colleagues, members of the audience, I do want to take a couple of moments of silence for a couple of different calls. It is with a heavy heart I extend our deepest condolences on behalf of the Memphis City Council following the tragic and untimely deaths of two of our city's bravest public servants, driver Jason Vosberg and driver Gary White of the Memphis Fire Department. Driver Vosberg passed away early Monday morning, and just hours later, we were devastated to learn of the loss of driver White in an off-duty motorcycle accident. These heartbreaking events have shaken our entire city and department and remind us of the daily sacrifices our first responders make, both on and off duty. Both Jason and Gary embodied the spirit of service, courage, and brotherhood. Their commitment to the safety and well-being of all Memphians will never be forgotten. They were not only protectors of our community, they were fathers, sons, friends, and teammates. Their absence leaves an undeniable void in our Memphis Fire Department and the lives of all who knew and loved them. So please join this council in the city of Memphis in mourning their loss and honoring their legacy. We pray for their families, their fellow firefighters, and every Memphian grieving alongside us. May we carry forward their memory with the same strength and dedication they brought to this noble profession each and every day. May God bless them and their families. Please keep them in your hearts and prayers at this time. And colleagues, I know that we have all been following the news of the recent flooding in Texas, and any tragic loss of life is hard, but it's even that much harder when it's a child. And it's just not meant to be that we lose any of our children in the dawn of life. So our hearts and prayers go out to all those in Texas, but all across the United States, of those families that lost their children and their loved ones in the recent floods. And I would ask that you please continue to pray for those families and that God may wrap his arms around them during this incredibly difficult time. And I want to extend heartfelt support and prayers for our Tennessee Task Force 1, who left today to go aid in the rescue mission in Texas. In moments like this, we're reminded of the strength of our shared community and our responsibility to help one another. These Memphians have been deployed to Texas to assist with the critical search and recovery efforts. These brave professionals, along with their highly trained K-9 partners, will work tirelessly alongside local and federal teams to support those in need and bring closure to families experiencing unimaginable loss. Tennessee Task Force 1 has long represented the very best of Memphis in courage, skill, service, and selflessness. They're willing to step up in times of crisis, not only here at home, but across the nation, as a testament to their unwavering commitment to saving lives and serving with honor. We are grateful for their leadership, and we pray for their safe return as they carry out this essential mission. Memphis stands in solidarity with Texas and all those across the United States, and we remain proud to be part of the national effort to help communities heal and recover. So if you would, please join me at this time for a moment of silence. Thank you, colleagues. Two housekeeping items. Items 14 will be held till August 5th, 2025, and item 15 will be held until October 21st, 2025. Madam Comptroller, would you please call from our add-ons item 25?
Item number 25 is a resolution approving an honorary street name change on Arkansas Street from West Burdock Avenue to South Parkway West for Lieutenant Jeffrey Todd Norman, District 2, Super District 9. This resolution is sponsored by Chairman Canali, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Chairman Canali, you are recognized at this time.
Michael. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. If I get the Norman family and all of the Memphis Fire family to join me up here at the podium. Colleagues, whereas when worthy circumstances arise, the Memphis City Council has seen fit to name certain public roads to honor citizens who have served this community, and Lieutenant Jeffrey Todd Norman is a citizen and first responder worthy of such recognition. And whereas the Memphis City Council, the Memphis Fire Department, the City of Memphis, and a grieving community continue to mourn the loss of Lieutenant Jeffrey Todd Norman, a 20-year veteran of the Memphis Fire Department who died in the line of duty on July 18, correct? Or was it the 19th? 2023, while courageously battling a house fire on Ryle Street in South Memphis. And whereas on July 18, 2023, Lieutenant Norman responded without hesitation to an essential structure fire, fully aware of the extreme danger that lay ahead. And upon arrival, he and his fellow firefighters faced intense flames and thick black smoke, where Lieutenant Norman initiated life-saving measures and protected his fellow firefighters. And whereas, despite the valiant efforts of first responders and medical personnel, Lieutenant Norman was injured and succumbed to those injuries in the early hours of July 19th, giving the ultimate sacrifice in service to others. Whereas Lieutenant Norman's public service career extended beyond the Memphis Fire Department, he had served his country with distinction for 28 years in the 164th Aerial Port Squadron of the Tennessee Air National Guard, earning the rank of Master Sergeant and completing multiple domestic and overseas tours, including 2 in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. And whereas Lieutenant Norman joined the Memphis Fire Department in 2002, steadily rising through the ranks from driver to lieutenant, earning respect, admiration, and the nickname Dirty Red from his colleagues, and received the Life-Saving Medal, a testament to his skill, bravery, and unwavering dedication to the mission of protecting life and property. And whereas Lieutenant Norman was known not only for his professionalism, but for his deep love for his family, his passion for his Razorbacks football, his enjoyment of cooking, traveling, running, and his kind, generous spirit. Above all, he cherished time with his wife and son, who now carry on his legacy with courage and grace. And whereas the community has stood united in honoring Lieutenant Norman through memorial services, ceremonies, and continued support of his family, affirming the profound and undeniable impact of his life and service. Now therefore be it resolved that the Memphis City Council honors him as a protector, a patriot, a father, a husband, and a true son of Memphis, whose actions represent the highest ideals of public service and selflessness. And be it further resolved that the Memphis City Council does hereby express its deepest sympathy to the family of Lieutenant Jeffrey Todd Norman and commends his life, legacy, and heroic sacrifice in Arkansas Street from West Burdock Avenue to South Parkway West in the city of Memphis be declared and designated Lieutenant Jeffrey Todd Norman Street. Be it further resolved, the city engineers requested to affix suitable signs designated in this public road in honor of Lieutenant Jeffrey Todd Norman for his commitment and contributions to the city of Memphis. Adopted this July 8th, 2025. To the family, I want to say he was a husband, he was a father, he was a son, he was a brother, he was a comrade to many of you on the Memphis Fire Department. And to us as city officials, but also all across the city, he is and forever will be a hero. And we will always remember his sacrifice and what he did in protecting the lives of others each and every day he was on the job. Please know how much we love you and care about you and want his memory to live on and his story to continue to be told. Thank you for joining us here today. It's an honor to be able to recognize him and memorialize him in a permanent way. All right, I so move.
Madam Controller, please show the approval by acclamation.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Madam Controller, please call the first item on the consent agenda.
Oh, thank you. Item number 3 is a zoning ordinance, amending ordinance number, let's get that on the board. Amending ordinance number 5367 of Code of Ordinance, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located at 2572 Park Avenue by taking the land out of the residential urban district and including it in the residential urban RU3 use district. Up for second reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is Z25-04. The ordinance number is 5951. And for clarity, it's removing from the residential urban RU1 district and including it in the residential urban RU3 use district.
Thank you. Councilwoman Logan, you are recognized at this time.
Committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
Mr. Brett, do you have any notes for number 1? We know that there was an appeal, that the Land Use Control Board, there was approval of that lot division.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Sent down with no recommendations at the May 20th committee meeting.
That's
Are there
correct.
any additional information that we need for that?
Yes, Madam Chairwoman. Brett Ragsdale, Division of Planning and Development. So if you would like to hear a presentation, we can have the presentation, and then we do have the appellant is here, Dr. Lynette Williams, as well as the applicant. So if you wanted to hear a presentation, we did have a presentation at the May 20th meeting, I believe. So if you wanted to hear a presentation, we could do that, or if you just wanted to hear from the appellant.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move to item number 1.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Madam Vice Chair, may I read the complete consent agenda,
Yes,
please?
you may.
Okay, thank you. On our consent agenda, starting with item number 3, it's up for second reading. This ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. Item number 4 is an engineering item. It's a resolution approving the engineering plans for Phillips Farms Plan Development Area 2A Phase 1, accepting bond as security. There is a request for same night minutes. Item number 5 is a resolution accepting public improvements for Legends Park Senior Building and releasing the bond. There's a request for same night minutes. The contract number is CR-5439, and also the related contract is amended 5439. On our add-ons, I have no additional consent agenda items. So, Madam Chairwoman, that concludes our consent agenda items.
Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
It has been moved by Councilwoman Logan.
I did.
And it has been seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Please prepare the voting screen.
Easter Thomas, yes. On the consent agenda, Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Canali, yes. Please show Cooper Sutton as voting yes on this item.
This item has been approved. change my vote for Swearingen, Washington instead of Canale, please. Thank you. This item has been approved. Madam Controller, please call the MLGW fiscal consent agenda items.
On our MLGW fiscal consent, we have item number 7, a resolution approving the ratification of purchase order number 7066578 with Direct Connections, Inc. for 200 kilowatt generators for an additional amount not to exceed $38,060. Item number 8 is a resolution approving change number 1 to contract number 12556, Weber to Gill Inspection with Mid-South Engineering Consultants, LLC, to expand the scope and increase the current contract value and the funded amount of $553,250. Item number 9 is a resolution approving change number 2 to contract number 12390, Project Portfolio Management Software Tool Acquisition with Work Otter, Inc., to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $159,539.40. Item number 10 is a resolution approving change number 4 to contract number 12529, MLGW Employee App with Engagedly, Inc., doing business as The Employee App, LLC, formerly The Employee App, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $64,673. Mr. Chairman, that concludes our MLGW fiscal consent item.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Canale. Committee met recommends approval, and I so move.
Can I get a second, please, electronically? MLGW is moved by Spinoza, seconded by Swearingen, Washington. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to our fiscal consent, item 6?
Item number 6 is a resolution to accept additional FY21 grant funds in the amount of $26,839.66 from Shelby County government through the Tennessee Office of Justice Programs. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by Police Services, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you. The committee met. There was a positive, a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Item was moved by Swearingen, Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Councilwoman White, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll be recusing from item number 6. I am special counsel for the County Commission.
Please note Councilwoman White as a recusal. Seeing no other members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, recused. Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 21 from our add-ons.
Item number 21 is an appointment to the Memphis Animal Service as the Memphis Animal Services Director, Susan Hollenbach, and there's a request for same night minutes.
Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee recommends approval of same night minutes, and I so move.
Item was moved by Easter Thomas, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, Director, would would you like to say anything?
I'd like to thank all of you. I'm excited to get started and serving the city of Memphis, and looking forward to assisting all of Memphis to be served by Memphis Animal Services and going forward for our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I need to say here? Nope.
Madam Comptroller, please prepare the voting screen for item 21.
Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes.
So Cooper Sutton is voting yes on everything.
Madam Comptroller, please call item 22.
Item number 22 is an appointment. Community Enhancement Director, Melanie Neal. There is a request for same night minutes.
I'm gonna let you get away with it one time. Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee recommends approval and also move for same 9 minutes.
Director Neal, you're recognized.
Good afternoon. I just want to thank you all again for this opportunity. I want to thank my friends and family and coworkers and staff who are here this afternoon to support me. I'm more than willing, more than ready to hit the ground running. I know that you all are looking for tangible results, and I'm committed to doing so. So I'm ready to get started, and thank you all again.
Thank you so much. We look forward to it. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for 22.
He's calling my name.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 24?
Item number 24 is a resolution to approve a one-time bonus equal to $2,950 for city retirees currently receiving pension payments or eligible to receive pension. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee recommends approval, and I so move for same 9 minutes.
Will you make note that that's as amended, Councilwoman, please?
As amended.
This is for 20, oh shoot, I thought it was 23. My bad. Let me take that back. Chair, we met, we recommended no recommendation to be sent down as amended, but I so move. Take that.
All right, 24 was discussed in committee and amended, properly moved and seconded, seeing no members in the queue. You do have an amended copy before you, colleagues, if you have any questions. Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to ask I want to make sure that the changes that were discussed were added in. We're just seeing this.
Chair, can't.
They have been.
They've been on there. You'll see the 2 dates on that last recital, Councilwoman Logan.
Okay, September 1st. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Colleagues, any other questions on 24? All please vote. Cast your votes for item 24.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Canale, Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us back to item 23.
Item number 23 is an appointment, Memphis Parks Director, Justice Bolden, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Councilman Minister Thomas.
Thank you, Chair. The committee recommends approval, and I so move for same 9 minutes.
23 was moved by Easter Thomas, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue. Director Bolden, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Chairman. First off, I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I am honored and so excited to be here before you today. The opportunity to serve as the director of the Memphis Parks is a dream I've held for a long time. And this organization, this city, the opportunity for us to really open up the parks and our centers, our senior centers, our pools, our aquatics facilities, our parks, to the community, to work hand in hand with you as council members, with the community, with our stakeholders, with our managed partners, is an opportunity that I'm truly looking forward to. This doesn't come without the hard work of the Memphis Parks. I want to indicate that I'm a native of Memphis, born and raised here in Memphis, Tennessee. I was a graduate of White Station High School in 2002. Also, the University of Memphis, where I studied all while working for the Memphis Parks. My first job, and in fact, I'll take you back a little bit before that, 1991, Ed Rice Community Center. That's where I learned how to swim. And one of the things we want to do as we proceed in Memphis is make sure that those opportunities are available for young people throughout the city. If we have an outdoor pool and it's activated, we want to make sure that we're providing robust programs and opportunities. But nonetheless, this is a tremendous opportunity to work with the city, to work with our tremendous staff in the Memphis Parks. There's been some amazing work that's been done over the past few years, dating back to 2020 when the master plan was put in place, and even beyond where we are today, where we're looking to update the master plan with the playbook. And so we'll be getting out in the community, working with you all, but I could go on and on about how truly special it is to work here with the city of Memphis under the leadership of Mayor Paul Young and of course yourselves. And so I'll leave you with that, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. We look forward to your service here at the city of Memphis. I do want to recognize your beautiful family that you have with you. You won't be able to do this job effectively without their support, so we thank you for being here and thank you for supporting him in this endeavor.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to introduce my wife who's here, Shiley Bolden, who's been really instrumental in us moving from Pasadena to Oakland, California, and now to Memphis. I spent the past 13 years in California, but without Shiley, I would not be here today. So, Shiley, thank you so much. Also, I want to acknowledge my little ones. We have 21-month-old Gianna. She'll be 2 in October. And also we have Hailey Michelle Bolden. Hailey is 4, and Hailey really wanted to come to Memphis. That's one thing she would always talk to me about. Dad, I want to go to Memphis. Well, Hailey, we are in Memphis. I also want to acknowledge my mother, Renee Bolden. She's just been there with me throughout, and every household needs a strong mother, and the opportunity to be able to learn from Renee, I think, has been truly a treasure. Mom, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then also, I'd like to acknowledge my father, James Bolden. Many of you may know him as Chief or Director Bolden.
growing up in Memphis, in his household, it was like a crash course in civics, and a crash course in government, a crash course in law enforcement, but really a crash course in how to serve, how to work with Memphians, how to work with the community. And so this is something we talk about all the time, just the opportunity to be able to serve for the citizens. And one thing I told him, you know, and I'll tell you guys here today, is that I would do this for free, because this is just an opportunity to be able to do something that many of us cherish, working with the Memphis Park. So Chairman, council members, Chief Antonio Adams, Mayor Paul Young, if I forget anybody, you know, please charge it to my heart. Just thank you for the opportunity. I also want to acknowledge some of our fallen park leaders. We've got some tremendous leaders who have really paved the way for us to be here today. And so without them, we wouldn't be here. So with that said, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Comptroller, please prepare the voting screen for item 23.
Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 26.
Item number 26 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a planned development at the subject property located at 1609 Corning Avenue. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. There is a request for same night minutes. The case number is SUP 25-08.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Smiley. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for item 26.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us back to item number 1.
Item number 1 is a resolution approving the appeal of Dr. Lynette P. Williams on behalf of the Aclina Lakeview Garden CDC, Inc., seeking to overturn the action of the Memphis and Shelby County Land Use Control Board, approving a re-subdivision of a portion of Lot 1 of the Save-A-Lot subdivision to create Lot 3, made up of 0.82 acres on the north end at the subject property located at 4696 South 3rd Street. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is S25-10.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. There was an appeal from the Land Use Control Board of the approval of this 3-lot subdivision on South 3rd. It was sent down with no recommendation on May 20th at committee meeting, and I so move. I think there
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Smiley. Dr. Lynette Williams. Actually, Dr. Williams, hold on just a second. I'd like to hear from DPD first.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Travian Smith. I'm a planner at DPD, and I'll be going over case S 2025-010. S 2025-010 is located at 4696 South 3rd Street and is located within Council District 6 and Super District 8. And again, the request is to appeal of the LUCB approval of the re-subdivision of Lot 1 of the Save a Lot subdivision in order to create a .82 acre lot on the north end of the site. Here's a location that provides better representation of where the site is located, which is located in South Memphis. And then on the right side, as you can see, is a vicinity map that best demonstrates the vicinity of the site. Here's the zoning map that basically outlines the site, and then the land use map, which outlines the sites, which, as you can see, was in the commercial district. Here are the site photos that best demonstrate the site as it is today. And as you can see, directly in front is the Save a Lot, and then to the left of the site is the north end of the lot, and that is the site that we're talking about today. Here are more photos of the site that best represents what is there today. Here's the preliminary plan that was provided by the representative, and it best shows and demonstrates the subdivision of the site, which, as you can see, in Lot 1 is the primary site of where the Save a Lot is located currently. And then Lot 3 is going to be the site on the north end, which is divided, and it shows right here how there's a sliver carved out. Here's the approval criteria that was approved by DPD. In conclusion, the applicant was requesting commercial lot major re-subdivision. The proposed preliminary plan of lot which subdivides Lot 1 in order to create two lots. Lot 2 will remain the same, and then Lot 3 will be created on the north side, and it will be making up 35,885 square feet. And again, the lot does meet the boat regulations of the current zoning district, which is commercial mixed use CMU 3 district. And it is incompatible with and in character with the neighborhood. DPD approved it with conditions. LUCB also approved it with conditions. And then lastly, DPD recommends rejection of this appeal in order to overturn the approval of the re-subdivision of Lot 1 of the Save a Lot subdivision in order to create the .82 acres on Lot 3 at the north end. And then lastly, in regards to the recommendation, again, DPD approved it with conditions. The conditions listed as no curb cut access is to be allowed on Shelby Drive. And then any other changes or any deviations to the site plan shall be determined by the zoning administrator. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Ford Sr., you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Ragsdale, will you come up and explain what's really going on for everybody to know?
Yes, thank you, Councilman Ford. Brett Ragsdale, DPD. So as Mr. Smith mentioned, so this is a request for a subdivision, and the subdivision essentially just creates two separate lots. And in this case, there are already two lots. So it takes a piece of property and subdivides that into additional lots. The uses that are allowed or any other requirements of the UDC do not change with a subdivision. So essentially right now, any use that is allowed in the CMU3 district can be done on this property without this subdivision. The subdivision just creates the lots and potentially allows someone to sell a lot or something of that nature. So that's the short answer of what the request is and what it does, what that approval allows if it is approved. Does that answer the question?
Not really. Because we have a lot of people that's against this. But you're saying they can put whatever they want on this lot right now.
Correct. Whatever is allowed in the commercial mixed use 3 district can be done on the lot currently. And so essentially this subdivision doesn't change that approval or that use, any allowed use.
But if we vote against this, what will happen?
So it would still remain one lot, a contiguous lot. So the 35,000 square feet, 0.82 acres, would remain part of the overall lot.
I got it now. They're trying to divide it up to make it two instead of one.
That's correct.
That's when they'll make a decision on what they want to put on that.
That's correct.
Trying to be slick. Okay. I'm good enough. I want all colleagues. We're going to let Dr. White, if you want to come up.
All right. Colleagues, you want to speak before I let Dr. Williams come up? All right. Dr. Williams, you're recognized.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Lynette Williams, and I'm the Executive Director of the Acalina Lakeview Gardens CDC, 5175 Horn Lake Road, Memphis, Tennessee. And we have been opposed to this project because we feel that it's a threat to the Save-A-Lot. About 2 years ago, they said they were going to close all the Save-A-Lots nationwide as far as trying to make them more like a storage kind of facility instead of a retail operation. And so they have already closed one or two in Memphis already. And we are located in a food desert. And we don't want anything to threaten that ability for us to at least access food. We've already had the Save-A-Lot down the street on 3rd Street closed as well. And so we felt that this project would be a threat to that. I talked to the actual owner of the property, Mr. David Dale, prior to us preparing our opposition to see what he actually wanted. He said he just wanted people to increase the amount of people that actually came to the Save-A-Lot. Now, that's what he told me. With that in mind, I shared with him some opportunities to possibly just make sure that the Save-A-Lot is up to par, nice and clean, has, what the community needs. And I shared with him, I felt like another business would compete with that. And in the application, they actually applied for an oil change facility at that location. Now, that's what's in the application. And so I've never seen an oil change facility next to a grocery store. As far as I'm concerned, it's a toxic kind of a business, and that's not going to increase the likelihood of the people going to the Save-A-Lot. And so we found out later on that there were other options for a Starbucks or a coffee shop. And as far as that's concerned, I'm not sure whether they have the land or the dynamics to actually fit that, as well as a Jiffy Lube. A Jiffy Lube has to have a certain amount of lots, parking lot space in order to actually be there. Now, this particular lot is over a well protection zone as far as our drinking water and things like that. And so we didn't want anything else toxic in this particular location. And so we felt that it would behoove us to basically try to get him to expand Save-A-Lot, where he could have a commercial bakery where the people can actually go into Save-A-Lot, or they can go on the outside and have like bakery and donut shop kind of thing attached in the same lot without having to subdivide the lot and possibly sell it to somebody else that might want to put fuel pumps there. And so what we want to do is do that, as well as add some maybe EV stations on the lot as it is now, and then that would be kind of a separate income for him if he wanted to do that. The reason why we're so concerned, because this particular owner is a commercial property owner, and he is not in the food industry business. And so we were very concerned about losing the Save-A-Lot in our area. So that's the reason why we opposed it. We got at least 300 signatures within 750 feet of the location. There are already 2 gas stations within 500 feet. There are 2 daycares right in that area, as well as a liquor store. The Dollar General just closed, so they won't have that additional competition in the area because the Dollar General right next door to it has closed.
Dr.
And
Williams,
so
I hate to cut you off, but I'm going to need you to wrap up your comments, please.
Okay. Well, we just basically, at this point, want this particular decision overturned so we can have an opportunity to have input as a community to decide what goes on in our neighborhood and what we can actually use. And we want to really be involved because the thing about it is these businesses come and go, and we want to make sure that we maintain the Save-A-Lot in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Mr. Ragsdale, would you come to the mic, please? Have we already voted on this case?
No, it was at the Land Use Control Board, then it came to committee, and it was sent down without a recommendation, so there was no vote at committee.
And we heard it and held it?
Correct.
I thought, is the applicant here?
Yes.
I think so. Didn't you agree to exclude oil change from your plans when we heard this case last time?
No. No, sir, we did not.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of a different case.
Maybe a different case.
All right, well, I'm sure members are going to have questions for you, so I'm going to let you stay right there. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. I totally agree with Dr. Lynette Williams. Honduras, all that community that's back there with that Save-A-Lot. There's a liquor store right there, and there is a little mom and pop tire and oil change where they do everything already right there that we've already mandated them to put a fence up for presentation. And putting something else toxic in that neighborhood without any renderings and without never knowing what it's going to be, and a great possibility that they can sell it to someone else is hazardous to our health. And so I agree with the community. I agree with Dr. Williams. When I talk to those that live back there on Delta and Honduras, that community is already suffering enough, and they don't need anything else that's not going to be impactful and some type of economic growth. So my vote will be no on that, and we'll talk to the community again. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman. Yeah, so to clear this up, and then I'm going to recognize Councilman Logan, this is an appeal. So a yes vote would stand in the affirmative of Dr. Williams' appeal. A no vote would stand with the original applicant. Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to know from the applicant what do you plan on doing with the building?
We're just creating my name is Wesley Woodridge with the Renaissance Group, 9700 Village Circle in Lakeland. We're just creating a lot, ma'am. We don't have a use for it yet. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Wesley Woodridge with the Renaissance Group. Currently, we're just creating a new lot. There's no use for it. We did some conceptual planning for the owner to see what could go on there so he could market that once the new lot is created. But at this point, he has not marketed that to anybody because there's no lot there to market. As far as uses, anything within the CMU3 district can go there. We did a conceptual plan for a small restaurant, for a office or a retail building of 3,500 square feet. And we also did a couple of conceptual plans for an oil change facility. And I believe the community is more opposed to a use more so than the subdivision of the property. And the whole subdivision came about by the owner wanting to find ways to benefit to Save-A-Lot and keep it there. He wants to create something that will bring more people into the area and also reduce the property tax burden on Save-A-Lot by selling off 0.82 acres. So he's looking for ways, creative ways, to keep that Save-A-Lot in the community.
So you're saying that he was looking for ways which to be viable so he can stay there?
Yes.
Because there's a thought of leaving it.
He has not expressed to me that there's a thought of leaving. He just wants to make it more amenable to stay.
So, Dr. Chairman, I wanted to ask Dr. Williams, based on what he said. If you, Dr. Williams, can you come back to me? So in your community meeting with them, or when you were on the street with them, as you mentioned, Save-A-Lots are closing. I hear him saying that they're looking for ways to stay viable, possibly stay open, and to bring people there. What do your community say about that?
Well, we were, at our meeting, we were basically concerned about the oil change facility and that we're in a wellhead protection zone. And so we were basically concerned about environmental as well as keeping the Save-A-Lot. However, we felt like if you subdivide the lot and you sell it and anything you do there, I believe it would compete with the Save-A-Lot as opposed to actually, you know, encouraging people to go into the Save-A-Lot. That's the reason why we suggested that they extend their lot and add like a commercial bakery kind of section where they can access it from the street, from the parking lot, as well as go into the grocery store.
I understand what you're saying in terms of ideally that's what we would want, but
Right.
I was hearing what he was saying, and I was wondering if that was communicated in the meeting to the residents. There's a potential, they're looking for ways to stay open and healthy. I was just wondering if that.
Right. Well, it didn't come up to that degree. It was more like a thing for them to sell off the property to make sure that, you know, if something happened to the Save-A-Lot, like it closed, you know, they would have something else to fall back on. But to me, if you expand and try to create something there, like the EV stations, you might have an opportunity for those customers to go into but anything else would take away from and see, my only problem is initially on the application where they put oil change facility, they had the telephone number of another gentleman that owns multiple gas stations and oil change facilities. And so all of that combined with what was going on, we felt like it was more of a threat.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is yours.
Yes.
Information.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Colleagues, Councilman Fortune, this is certainly not my district. I would offer that you could condition this if you wanted to protect against automotive uses or other uses, or we could delay this
Victor was home, everything else. But I think you want to put down there, that's just like a manufactured home. They got a little den, like with two manufactured homes that home and shotgun house that we used to have. Just tell you, when you come into my area, we got all these nice homes. Not only that, we got all on the other side. We got a very nice home. That's like just good. Go all the way back to baby God. Okay? Don't come there within that. All play, oh, you gotta look at them already right there. Go down there. I invite you to do time in the city. Bring you some up here.
If we condition it.
I'm talking, no. And I'm gonna be through. You need to get with me, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Ford. Councilman Riverside.
Yes, I'm gonna be very brief. And Councilman Ford, I'm glad that you were able to pick up that it's 2 lots that they are actually looking for, which was not mentioned in the first place. And when talking to the constituents in Honduras and Delta, and then as he mentioned, Delta Street back there and Westwood, you got Corlick, you got all of that. And it has been very easy through the many decades and years to come up here and to play out the same playbook, different page, different chapter. But the people need something. You said something about economic growth, and you wanted to do something. That something should be, you should be able to tell me what that something is. You should be able to say what that something is. Most everybody in that community are brown and black that live in that community that's been there for years. Boxtown is right down the road. So I concur with Councilman Ford. I don't think there's enough, you all have not been honest. Let's just let me cut the chase. Not been honest. Not been honest. And we can't keep doing business the same way. And the people get left out. And the people, the people are not hungry anymore. You're starving them out. You're starving us out. So we don't have any say-so. They don't have the proper representation. So I concur with you, Ford. I hope when you do meeting, I can be present. We can see what's going on, and the people can be present as well, because it's their lives that's at stake. I yield.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Walker, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, are you the property owner or you are representing the property owner?
I'm the representative for the property owner.
You're representing.
Yes.
Has the property owner been before us on this matter?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Has anyone else other than yourself represented the property owner?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and is the property owner a resident of Memphis and Shelby County?
No, he's a resident of Houston, Texas.
Pardon me?
Houston, Texas.
He lives in Houston, Texas.
Yes. And again, we're creating this lot to benefit the Save a Lot.
Pardon me?
It's the intention to benefit Save a Lot to create this by creating this lot. We've been very upfront about that from the beginning, that we're creating a new lot.
But it's to benefit Save a Lot.
Yes, to sell off 0.82 acres. We're here now, yes, ma'am.
So you're representing the property owner and Save a Lot today?
The property owner owns Save a Lot, so yes.
Okay.
They're one and the same.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. With that, I yield the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Ford, Sr.
Let me clear something right now. Talking about Save a Lot. All that is there. I want to go back to Southland Mall. On the Southland Mall, trying to make money. black people gonna come to Union Avenue to Kroger because they had been stopped. Okay? But when you go to the Kroger on Union, black folks got two badges. White folks got that little because they gonna keep put the jacket. The people that shot trying to buy because we do that. Okay? The little bitty badges that they come up with, they ain't for black folks. Wake up, y'all, because I'm telling the truth. It ain't for black folks. The big badges is the true of us. Because hey, they're gonna be fooled. So don't fool us. That's why don't talk about the grocery store. You just have to go in that grocery store. But that grocery store ain't got much that you might want. And you could get the right stuff. But we're gonna just stop. We'll see you in September, but I need to set up a meeting. Tara will set up a meeting, okay?
Okay.
We don't discuss this no more.
Thank you, Councilman Ford.
I want to retire, and I'm so staying with this.
Without objection, colleagues, this will be held until September 9th. Any objection? All right, it's item held. Madam Councilor, would you please call item 2? Mr. Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee may recommend approval and I so move.
Item was moved by Mr. Thomas, second by Supervisor Washington. Seeing no numbers in the queue, please prepare to vote the screen.
Thomas, yes. Reed, yes. Logan, yes. Vanessa, yes. Surrounding Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Jerry McNally, yes.
Item passes. Madam Councilor, please call item 13.
Item number 13 is an appointment to the Memphis Metropolitan Land Bank Authority, Lynn Ball.
Councilman Mr. Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee may recommend approval and I so move.
Item was moved by Mr. Thomas, second by Supervisor Washington. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare to vote the screen.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Mr. Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Jones,
Kent, you're up first. Name and address, you have 2 minutes, Mr. Kent.
Joe Kent, 5111 Flamingo. What we're buying as taxpayers regarding MATA is ridership. And no one in local government or federal government knows how many people are riding the bus. Everything regarding the efficient operation of transit for taxpayers relates to ridership. One-time bailout funding is likely needed for MATA, but not increased recurring funding for empty, unreliable fixed-route buses. In fact, bus routes need cut and on-demand expanded, and we don't need 2 or even 1 backup trolley for 2 trolleys. Do you know why, Mr. Chairman? Because they're not trolleys. They're buses. Pull from the fleet for the backup. The idea here is to build an efficient transit backbone and knowledge base to run a transit network, to build a solid transit system. That's the idea. So you know what's going on, you know. And like how many people ride the bus, you know. And I trust, Mr. Chairman, you will schedule in-depth public hearings on the forensic audit, which I believe will formally confirm the elitist-led public ripoff culture of Memphis, which occurs through public contract. That's how it happens. And finally, my mama says this. She wants to know why trash is lining the streets in the best middle-class neighborhood in the city of Memphis, in the Seattle neighborhood. That's really directed to the Councilor District 2 if she's concerned about trash lining the street in her district in the best middle-class neighborhood in the city, Seattle, which I had nothing to do about building that culture in Seattle. Back then, my parents did. I was drinking heavily at the time, so I didn't have anything to do with it. But anyway, that's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Kent. Delaware Smith. C. Yerson.
What's up, y'all? My name is Amber Sherman. My address is 6070 North Belgrove Cove. And I just want to highlight some major concerns I have about the blight remediation ordinance. I know that it was held, which I mean, it's a great opportunity for y'all to listen to all the amendments I think you should add. Beyond just completely deleting it, I think that it should not be something that's adhered to from people who are actually living in their homes. The way the ordinance is written allows a city employee to inspect someone's house unannounced, interior and exterior. I don't know anybody in Memphis who will let a stranger walk in their house and inspect the inside. Just saying. I also don't understand why we're giving that authority to a regular city employee. And the definitions in the ordinance to me were very vague, but one of them was very racially charged. It said urban blight means an existing property without a parent or patent supervision by an owner or tenant, but is in disrepair, as in harboring rats, health problems, promotes vandalism. How does a home promote vandalism? Including trees that had not been cut, or a danger to innocent passerbys. Never heard a definition that sounded so racially charged in my life, because to me that just sounds like houses in black neighborhoods that are in disrepair or might have a roach problem. That's a lot of people's houses. And that doesn't give you, as a city, to let someone come in and take someone's house from them or demolish it just because they have an insect problem, or there's overcrowding was also listed in here. There's a lot of black families who live in a 2-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom house, but it's 10 people living there because it's what they can afford. And so I think that the ordinance as written really criminalizes poverty extremely, and with a lot of vagueness, and allows no appeal process. The only way someone could appeal what a city officer, not a police officer, a lawyer, a judge, a city employee that's called a public officer can charge someone to have their home repaired by the city and a lien be put on their house to pay for it, or have their home demolished and a lien put on their house to pay for that too. All because they can't afford to keep it up. And the only option is to go to transfer court and pay for a lawyer to file an injunction for you. That's not realistic.
Thank you, Ms. Sherman. Last card is for Winnie Hardaway. Ms. Hardaway, what's your first name?
Winnie. Winnie. Thank you. I'm Winnie Hardaway. My address is 4624 Honeysuckle, Memphis, Tennessee, 38109. I'm standing before you because two things that were on tonight, although they've been set aside, I wanted to go ahead and leave my comments for the record, okay? Understanding I'm new to this, so you all bear with me, please. And I have my grandson who's also affected with me. I said, okay, you got to go with me. We can't find a babysitter. You going tonight, baby. The first one that's really a concern was the 3rd Street, the division of the property. I understand it was number 1, the lots. I believe when the application was originally filled out, they gave their true representation for why they wanted that property divided. It might have been a slip up in their thing, but it was our golden nugget, and we need to be really certain that they are not going to put an oil changing facility on that property, because it wouldn't have even been included in the application if that was not their plan. We don't need oil changing, and we definitely don't want to lose the Save-A-Lot. True, our area does deserve more than a Save-A-Lot, but as of right now, that's all we have. There's not a Kroger, there's not a Walmart. I'll sit on whatever board you need me to sit on to help you develop 3rd Street. Let us help you, because we know what we need, and what we don't need is more oil, and especially in that particular place. I understand, like I was explaining to Dr. Williams Walker, I'm bad with names. I do not think that anyone's hearing her when she says that should be protected land. It is a well, water, already on a national thing, it'll be okay. It would not be okay. The blanket with the young lady, apologize, I'm out of time. The blanket, I don't want nobody in my house without no appointment. I don't care how I keep my house. It's my house. I'm gonna leave you alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hardaway. Thank you, young man, for joining us today. Staff, colleagues, I want to say